Hey everyone, this is Nitro. Welcome to another recording of Nitro setup videos. So I thought I would just talk about my current status in the game, and as always I'll start by covering what I got last week in terms of SSR equipment. So SSR gear from last week was really nothing special. Well, first of all, I should mention crystals and voucher count increases, right? So the previous week I was at 11 vouchers and 1745 crystals, and that was on March, I guess, the 16th, right? Now it's the new week, March 23rd, and I'm currently at 2 vouchers, 3843 crystals. The reason why I have so few vouchers is because I actually did do 2 10-time summons when I meant to use friendship vouchers, so I wasted 20 vouchers there. Didn't get any SSRs, so no. So I guess I just built up my count of the number of summons I've done, because I'm now very close to hitting 100 summons. I think I'm currently at 70 out of 100. So if I don't get, I'm basically guaranteed to get an SSR in the next 30 summons, which is not necessarily a bad thing, right? So I will be using that later on. Other than that, in terms of equipment farming results last week, the previous week was 7. I had 2 weeks now where I was fairly low at around 6 to 8. And then last week, or the current week I should say, I got 10 SSRs. Right. Timeless trial of the week was another star earring. So I technically now have 2 level 50s if I decide to build one up as well. And this would make a 3rd level 20. I don't know if I'm ever going to actually build this one up. I might turn it into ore in the future, but I'm holding on to it for now. Right. Gambles I covered last week, but I got a blue star from that. Everything else was turned back into ore. And other than that, on Monday I picked up 2 items I'm temporarily keeping. A Hydra Bow, so that I can make it level 31, and then a Goddess Left Hand for level 40. Main reason I'm holding on to this is I'm still hoping that I'll get an EMB sometime, Extreme Magic Bow, but if I don't, I may have to use a Hydra Bow. So, Joint Battle, Goddess Left Hand, made my 4th one level 40. Tuesday, I got another Goddess Left Hand from Joint Battles, making my 4th level 50. And that's all the Goddess Left Hands I want, I think. Right? 4 of them is enough. I don't imagine I'm going to need any more. And I'll just sit on that. So any further Goddess Left Hands, I'm going to turn into ore at this point. I also picked up a Peacemaker, which is ored. Assault Headgear on Wednesday with a Death's Robe. Both of them were ored. Thursday, I did pick up an Arcane Battle Garb, which raised my first Arcane Battle Garb to level 50. So I guess I got 4 of them in total. And that's why I now have a level 50 Arcane Battle Garb. Also a Carbon Fiber Helmet, which is ored, and then Assault Headgear from a Joint Battle, and finally on Sunday I picked up a Last Night. I also did 4 random accessory box purchases, but did not get any SSRs from those. So, 10 SSR so far, not too shabby for this week anyways. Although it's nothing particular that I want to truly build, you know. It's not bad overall. So, with regards to gear I still need, it's always the same. Remains the same, it's not changing. I still need an Extreme Magic Bow, I still need a Swordsmith Medal, I still need a 2nd Balance Blade if possible. I really want Apex Boots, especially for Elwyn, because the sooner my Elwyn can have 4 mobility rather than 3, the more usable he'll be for PvP. He's usable, don't get me wrong, but he'll be much better if he had 4 mobility. Right? And then of course, if I can ever pick up a Mimir's War Axe for Yusuke, that would be great. And yeah, you know, more King's Crowns, always nice. More Yggdrasil Reefs, always nice. Sorry, not Yggdrasil Reef. More King's Crown are always nice. More Tenyo's Headdress is always nice. More Tenyo's Robes, of course. And more Last Rites. So, that's pretty much all the items that I really want right now. But I think primarily it would be Swordsmith Medal first. Right? So those are really the items I continue to look for. Although I could always use as well Juggler plushie, if I ever get one. I repeatedly mentioned that I would like to get a Juggler plushie for, let's say, Liana, so that her gospel would last longer. and stuff like that. So we'll see. Juggler plushie on Leanna would be great. You know, Juggler plushie maybe for Iris would be great. Lots of characters could use it. So those are pretty much the SSRs that I want. Now, so I'm gonna do some summoning, or sorry, not summoning, purchasing in the store at this point. Why am I constantly going to the summon screen? Wow, that was just terrible. Okay, so I'm currently holding on to the remaining honor points because I need to start saving up for the new month, right? It's in 9 days, and then at that point I want to purchase the SSR accessory, the Rune Stone, right? And so just holding on to the honor points until the new month for now. So I won't do any random accessory gift box purchases this month, or this week. So other than that, you know, same thing here. I'm holding on to some friendship points because I'm going to be doing 2 Trinity voucher purchases when the new month arrives. And equipment wise, I'm going to do my gambles, right? So I have 2275 ore, and here we go. Frostrend is garbage. Bloody Melody is garbage. Last Night is garbage. Gaia's Armor. Twilight Armor. And a Fujin's Wing, my first one. Not that I wanted one. And then we're on to headgear. Reaper's Breath. Chief's Helmet. And a carbon fiber helmet. So once again, I got some items I can use, but nothing that I truly wanted. Right? I'll hold on to this Fujin's Wing. I mean, it's not good, but I like to hold on to at least one copy of everything. Now that I can afford to. But in terms of oring the equipment, well, let's get rid of the carbon fiber. Let's get rid of that new Reaper's Breath, because I can already build a level 50 if I so wish. I'll hold on to the Chief's Helmet for now. You know, I may just feed it into this one, or I may decide to build up multiple copies. I don't know. Bloody Melody, or right. You know what? I am gonna order the Star Earring. I don't imagine any situation where I would need 3, but you know what? Let's hold on to that just in case. Or this one. I have 2 Gaia's armors now, but they're purely defensive items. I'm not a big fan of those, so I may turn those into ore in the future too. But yeah, so you can see a whole bunch of items that I got are gonna get ored right away. So there we go. I got 600 ore back out of the 9 gambles I made, which meant the only ones I kept is the Gaia's Armor, the Chief's Helmet, and one more that, and the Fujin's Wing, right? So I'm back up to 1,000 ore. You know, whether I'm going to use it for more enchant scrolls to try to roll good enchants, or use it on purchasing epic martial spirits to build up new gear is kind of up to me. Regardless, there's no rush to make either choice. In terms of the past week, I did do a lot of enchanting with Florence in an attempt to get better enchants on my tanks. Right? Didn't really turn out that well. I think I used up like 60-ish enchants. Like all the new enchant scrolls I got this week for Apex Arena, and I did do the 5 purchases last week in the store for 25 more scrolls, and all of those enchants didn't really roll me anything good, unfortunately. So pretty much back to the drawing board, unfortunately. I think the only thing, yeah, there was literally not really any good roll at all. So back to the drawing board, continue to try to decide whether to keep rolling for better enchants to buff up my Landius and Juggler, or switch to someone else. Yeah. Other than that, yeah, I really went crazy on the enchanting there, because my current Apex ranking at 17-15 points gives me, what was it? Nope, not here. Here. So being here gives me 9 rare enchant gift packs. So that's 45 scrolls. 45 scrolls plus another 25 from the store was 70 scrolls. And 70 scrolls didn't get me a single good enchant, unfortunately. Or I should say, enchant that was better than what I currently have on my tanks. So we'll see. It's not a bad thing to build up your tanks to make them as powerful as they possibly can be. So I may continue to just keep attempting away at that. So other than that, I did do a whole bunch of battles in Apex Arena this weekend. I think I did 8 battles in total. There were 6 wins and 2 losses, which pushed me up into 1 ranking up. So I was previously at Gold 3, I'm now at Gold 2. If I keep up with these kind of win streaks, I can get into Langrisser pretty quickly. You really just need to win more matches than you lose at the end of the day. That's really how you rise up. And you know, you can see here it's like a win, a loss, a win, a win, a win, win, another win, a loss here. So yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4 wins, 5 wins, yeah, 6 wins, 2 losses was what it turned out to be. And most of them were due to Zerida or Omega. Although there were a few battles where I won with, let's say, using Elwyn and Shafaniel. And then this battle was actually won by Tieris of all characters. So, but 4 wins were by my assassins. So, I don't know. I don't know if I'll do, maybe I'll turn those into another video later. But ultimately, there's no real rush to do so. If people are interested, I can do an analysis battle of some of those fights, but for now, I'm just holding off on doing that. Kind of busy with work than recording videos right now. Alright, so next, shard farming plans continues to be the exact same since I transitioned to upgrading the characters that I mentioned, which is Illustrial, Wyler, and Yusuke. I'm continuing to farm them up, right? The goal is to get them to 6 stars. Until someone hits 6 stars, I'm not going to change from this. And then after the first one that hits 6 stars, which will be Illustrial, I'm going to start to farm Shafaniel shards. Right? And then after they're done, that's when I finally look at new heroes. At that point, both Illustrial, Shafaniel, and Wyler should be done, and I should be at the new banner period at that point, which will let me potentially level up new heroes. We'll see what happens there. Because, let me just quickly bring up the tentative banner guide or status. This is what I'm looking at right now. Okay, I'm going to expand this a little to make it easier to see. Okay. So, right now, this week, we're supposed to get the collab rerun with Joshua and Estelle. I don't need them, right? So I'm going to skip on that. Theoretically, yes, I could try to draw for multiple copies of Estelle, or sorry, of Joshua, but then I risk getting Estelle shards that I don't really want, so I'm gonna pass on this, right? Next week is Bozo, which I have at 6 stars, Liana, who I have at 6 stars, and Luna, who I also have at 6 stars, so I'm definitely not gonna draw on that. Then there is finally a new hero banner. At this point, I pretty much only draw on new heroes banners, right? So, Akaya and Brenda, and my goal here is to just get one. The ideal would be to get Akaya, right? Because Brenda, you can get a guaranteed copy of her in August from the Listel Brenda Lambda banner. So ideally, I get Akaya, and then I won't have to worry about ever getting, you know, Brenda and so on. If I don't get Akaya and I get Brenda, then there is no banner at this time with a guaranteed Akaya. There is an Emilia and Akaya banner in August though. And I may draw on that one because I don't have a copy of Emilia and I don't have a copy of Akaya at that point. So likely I will draw for one of the heroes there if I fail to get Akaya here. But if I do, plans change, I'd probably just entirely abandon Emilia, right? We'll see what happens. So that is my current banner draw. I'm going to get one of the heroes here, that's my goal. And then after that, I'll continue to save until May, where I am going to draw probably like crazy on the Deedlit and Ashram banner. The goal is to get as many copies of Deedlit as possible so I can use her as soon as I get her. It will, and then I will probably try to draw for Maya and Ares, probably. And then I will definitely absolutely draw to try to get Shirinka. Shirinka? I don't know, whatever. And after that, I am definitely going to be skipping this banner, the Renata and Langrisser banner. And we'll see what happens with that new collaboration banner in August with Trails, well, the Trails series heroes once again. I think she comes from Trails in the Sky, whereas he comes from Trails of Cold Steel. So haven't played the games that they're in. So don't know much about them. Haven't looked into them in any detail. I mean, that is 5 months away. There is no real reason to look into it in detail in the first place because it's so far away. So, but that is pretty much my banner draw plans. I did say I may pick up, Mystery Knight here by drawing on this banner. So it's going to be a bit of a challenge figuring out how to draw on, Maya and Ares, then Elucia and Shrinka, then the Valentine's trading banner, right? If I want to draw on all three of those, they're very close together, one after another. So we'll see there. First things first though is I want to get a very powerful Deedlit as soon as possible. And it may be that I just draw for 1 or 2 copies of her rather than as many as possible, so I would have more draw saved to draw on, Maya Ares, Elucia Shrinka, and the Valentine's banner. We'll figure all that out later. Whatever. It all depends on luck, like how many copies I get of them, how early I get them, and so on. Okay, so that's my plans for the upcoming banners. I will actually follow these plans in large part because I have no interest in these other banners, right? Usually speaking, I get tempted into drawing because I want the new heroes, but here I only have to draw for new hero banners. So yeah, so that is my status with regards to drawing for heroes and so on. Let's move on. So jump back into the game, and at this point, I should mention my training ground. So I've finally used up the majority of my burgers. I think I had 40 saved up, and I am now down to a mere 10, which is around the number of burgers I want to keep in general, just in case. I could reduce it further, maybe down to 5 as well. That's viable too. So I may use a few more. I may do a few more Anarchy grinds today. So all of that grinding like mad, was primarily to at least finish this tech Jungle Ranger. So it was previously at 8 out of 10. I now have it maxed out, so it's at 10 out of 10. So the damage that my archers do went from 20% bonus damage up to 30%, which is a 10% damage increase. Is quite significant, along with a 10% attack and defense increase when fighting flyers. So that's always nice to get. So now all I have to do is upgrade this one 3 times, and I'll be done with the Archer and Assassin Training Ground. Or at least, not done, but done in the sense that I don't think I can afford to upgrade this one any further, unfortunately, because I have to upgrade the attack of these other 2. Right? Or these other 3, I should say. So at this point, once I get this to level 70, I'm going to change my focus. And getting this will need a lot of dark necklaces, so what I'm doing is pretty much the dailies, where any daily I can get on dark necklaces, I'll do that one. And then otherwise, in terms of trying to get these books, I'll probably just manually continue to do battles until I have around, 100, 150 books. So I'm going to be farming up Anarchy Jones like crazy until I have enough books to finish off this tech, at which point I will finally start looking at the other branches. Probably will look at Flyer and Aquatic first, and then Cavalry, and then Holy and Demon. That's probably, because ultimately I'm actually not using very many mages in my Apex party anymore. Pretty much all my mages have been replaced by Archers and Assassins, and thus I don't particularly need to upgrade the attack on this right now. So that's probably what is going to happen. I'll focus on arch flyers, and then cavalry, and then finish up the attack tech on here, and then look at infantry, and then finally look at Lancer. So that's the order of the techs that I'm going to be focusing on upgrading. Alright, moving on. What is there left to cover? Well, I guess the only thing left to mention is if there's any new enchants, right? No, I already talked about that. There were no new enchants because I rolled like crazy and didn't get anything good. So the only thing left to mention is just, I guess, my Apex team, which I think a large part of why I went 6 wins and 2 losses is because I actually removed my Chloe and brought in Wilder. It may not seem like a big difference, but the thing about Wilder is he's able to provide mass attack, which Chloe didn't. And this mass attack has been very, very vital in increasing the damage that my other characters can do. And of course, he has the choice of bringing tactical retreat. You know, if your character survives a hit, you can tactical retreat and pull them back to you. Similarly, he can use regroup, which is actually a great combo with Zerida. So, and then if you don't need the regroup, you can always bring mass heal or dispel, right? So that you can dispel a lot of debuffs on your party while healing them up a bit. So very versatile character, Wilder. And right now, it's working out quite well. You can see my Wilder isn't even fully built yet. He has a level 30 Galaxy Cloak right now. But the thing about Wilder is, you don't care if he dies ultimately because of his talent, right? He'll apply Desperate Prayer on your characters if he dies, which is a very nice bonus for your other characters, in fact. So it's working out. We'll see how it goes for the rest of this week. And on that note, not much else to say. Just steadily upgrading further for Apex Arena, and I am really just waiting for the Akaya and Brenda banner to arrive on April the 9th, because that's when I can finally flip Illustrial into my Apex party. Right? That's when she'll finally get her helmet, which will allow her to ignore guard, and that will change things up quite a bit. But in the meantime, I'm still also looking for gear for my Illustrial. You know, I could really use another Last Rites for my Illustrial, although I may give the Chloe one over to Illustrial instead. And yeah, so that's it. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you found this video kind of interesting and useful in terms of, you know, the way to build up your characters for PvP towards the end game. And on that note, Nitro out.